Ryan London. Welcome to another episode of the Supper Club Social, where we review restaurants, movies, and TV shows and talk about home bars, cocktails, and pop culture. We are a podcast based right here in the north side of Spokane, and even though our following is smaller than Peyton Manning's forehead, our hopes and dreams are higher than Kyler Murray could ever reach. My co-host today is a 49er fan through and through. Whether it's Steve Young or Joe Montana, if you're on his bus, Roy Smith will never smile at you.
That's true.
Is it true, Roy?
That is a true statement.
Good. Oh, man. Welcome to Birdy's, Roy.
Yeah, thanks.
We're not quite in the basement anymore.
No, we're moving on up.
What? You can't hear it? Can you hear it now? No. Can you hear it now?
Any better?
Amy, better?
You got to get the wife approval. If you know anything, you have to get the wife approval.
That's always a safe bet. Good way to go.
Roy, next up, he's been called the onion of happiness because every time you peel back a layer, there's just another layer of happiness. But don't let his sultry tones and his calm demeanor trick you. If there's no cherry in his Manhattan, he will surely glare at you. It's Scott Lewis.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, nice. Last but not least, he lives by 3 rules. Get 1 hole-in-one every 46 years.
Yes.
Love a professional baseball team whose goal it is to win 54% of its games and to never have a forehead as big as Peyton Manning. It's Jeff Lafferty.
Yeah, thank you. My forehead's on its way there, though.
Yeah.
It's
Nice. I mean, it's too bad you quit that HGH so early.
I know.
You had a chance to really get there. They show drive-in movie theaters off his forehead.
Yeah.
Nice.
like Total Recall?
Yeah. Welcome to the show, you guys. It's been a little bit. How are you handling the fame from the Boiler Room episode? Are you able to walk down the streets like normal, or?
Well, people call me Roy all the time, and I'm like, I'm not Roy. I don't know where that's coming from. But yeah, I mean, the glow up has been pretty nice.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to
yeah.
hear. Well, I thought we'd
now because I've been saying I'm Scott.
Started off with some favorite Super Bowl moments.
Oh.
And if I might be first to go, I've got 3 of them. How many do you guys have?
I got 3 as well.
3? So my first one, I'd hate to shout out the Patriots, but in 2008, we found out we were pregnant with Carter on Super Bowl Sunday. It was an amazing time.
Wow.
16 years ago.
Wow.
Jeff, you got one?
Mine would be when the Seahawks were playing the Broncos, and it was such a great game. It started off with the safety.
Sure.
But when Percy Harvin took that touchdown back to open the second half, and I was living in Arizona at the time with a bunch of friends, it was just that whole second half was just a coronation because at that point you knew the Seahawks were winning.
Right.
And the game was over at that point.
Yeah.
And so the whole second half, it was just such a great time because it was just a celebration at that point.
Yeah.
So that, to this moment, is my favorite.
That is one of my favorite moments also. And what's even more impressive to me is that the center was able to hike the ball over Peyton Manning's forehead. That's so big.
That's the 3rd reference. Let's see how many what's
like
the over-under? Is it over under
Are we doing
4.5?
a prop bet on
Well,
this?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
a prop bet.
sheet?
If it's Peyton
Yeah.
Manning, it's always over.
Yeah.
That's true. Careful, we got a Manning fan in the audience.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
Hence all
Be
the
careful.
shout-outs.
Scott Lewis, you got any favorite Super Bowl moments?
Yeah, and I'm not going to pile on with another Seahawks one right away because I do have 3 myself. But my very first Super Bowl memory was 1992 and the Redskins winning. Now Commanders, but Redskins back then. Mark Rippon, Coug, he a Shadle Park guy.
Yep.
Winning the Super Bowl MVP was pretty impressive, and that's one of the first things I remember. I also had to learn that the Washington team was not actually in Washington, so I thought it was like a whole local thing, but turns out they're on the East Coast, and that was my first one.
I had the Washington thing. I had the thing with the Washington Capitals.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like so confusing. But Mark Rippon his family grew up across the street from Westview Elementary. And so when, I was a student at Westview, like when we got rumored that Mark was going to be in town, people would just go and like flock that house and just wait to get a glimpse of him. And it was pretty cool. I mean, he was always pretty accommodating and nice guy.
Yeah.
So, now that Mark Rippon's been brought up, I can't help but mention that my wife, Amy Lund, is a proud recipient of the Mark Rippon Award.
Oh.
Amy, stand up.
Amy,
Wave.
take a bow.
Yeah.
Amy, did you win the Mark Rippon Award? Yep, there you go.
Wave to the crowd. That's awesome. Now, Roy, which was your favorite Seahawks Super Bowl memory?
None of them.
Oh,
When Roy
when they
found
lose.
out Oregon was in Oregon, he was just,
No, my team hasn't really won a Super Bowl in a long while. I think
true.
94 was the last one.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't really remember that too much.
Okay.
But my favorite Super Bowl memories are like the halftime when you're younger and you go out to the
Nip
backyard and you're that was a good one. But you go to the backyard and just still play a little pickup game in the backyard at halftime.
Yep.
With all your friends when you're younger.
Nice.
God, I
That's
forgot
probably
about
mine.
the nip slip. Jeez, Jeff.
I always
In all my prep for this, I'd never even thought about that.
Oh,
That's all I thought
No, no,
about.
I got a good second one though.
Let's do a snake draft. I mean, once you, Roy, hit us back.
Yeah, hit us back.
Okay. I would say maybe my second one. I don't remember. It was the Super Bowl with J-Lo and Shakira.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites too.
And we were sitting on the couch, and Carter was like in between us.
Yeah.
And just the look on his face, he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like this, but I don't know why I like it.
I didn't know 60-year-old women could move like that.
Yeah. That was pretty
Her
fun.
hips did not lie.
Yeah. But that was a good one.
Well, I guess coming back to me.
Yeah, go
Do you
ahead.
want to do it? No, Ryan,
No,
you want-
go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was going to say 1997 was the Drew Bledsoe versus Brett Favre Super Bowl. And I was just excited that nobody else, or it wasn't Cowboys or anything to do with the Buffalo Bills or the Cowboys or anything like that. So I was happy to see another Coug in there. So again, my Cougisms are coming out.
I'm going to go back to my earliest Super Bowl memory. The very first one I remember was 1985 Chicago Bears against the New England Patriots.
The Bears.
And they had the Super Bowl shuffle. They had Jim McMahon with the headband, and they had they would draw like a hit list of who they wanted to take out. It was just, football was just so different back then.
Can I tell a quick Jim McMahon story?
Yes.
So a few years back, there was a celebrity golf tournament. I think it was like the Albertsons or Tidymans or whatever, and it was at Qualchan. And I got to caddy for Don Bees, which is he was on the senior tour, and Jim McMahon was in the group right in front of us, and we got kind of bottled up at number 12, and I had a white headband with me, and I said, Jim McMahon, can you please sign this? And he was already about 8 beers deep and had his shoes off, and he was playing barefoot, and I was like, this is the perfect time. Well, he says, you know how hard it is to sign these? And he signed it, F you, and give it back to me. And
That's perfect.
It's the best piece of memorabilia I have.
Yeah, no kidding. You know who'd be a really good coach for the Seahawks? Mike Ditka.
Bears.
That's
Bears.
one of the greatest SNL sketches.
All time. Yeah, it's an all time.
And the one that had Jordan on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Keep her rolling here. I would. I gotta do one more at least.
Do it.
I'm gonna say the 06 Super Bowl Seahawks against the Steelers. I love that team. I love Matt Hasselbeck. We got robbed by the referees.
Yep.
Pretty bad, but I watched that game. It was one of kind of our first group dates with Amy, and we sat at the season ticket, and we were in the bonus room, and we had a whole huge buffet style table to us, so we were just right in front of the big screen. It was really cool. A fun time for sure. Jeff Lafferty, what does everyone got I'm good on that one?
Yep, I'm good to move on.
What makes for a good Super Bowl?
Ooh. I mean, for me, it's so not about the game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a good game is nice, but it's
Sure.
more about the people you're with, the food, the wings, just the whole vibe, I think. The halftime show, the commercials. Sorry, I'm taking everybody's answer.
No,
But no.
Next question.
I mean, yeah, sorry. The game is good. That helps. If it's a blowout, obviously it sucks, but
I love it when there's something you don't normally see in a regular game. So if there's it's safety to start the game, or if there's the lights go out in New Orleans like there was last time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Roy, that was another bad memory for you. But
Yep.
49ers lose.
I'm not really
Yeah.
liking this episode so far. It's really bringing me down.
Great memories for Roy.
Coming off of a fresh Super Bowl loss last year, too.
No kidding. Boy, that seems like so long ago.
I know, it does.
You know? Ancient history.
I know. When I was looking up stuff for this, I'm like, oh, that was 3 years ago.
what's
last year.
the best Super Bowl food? Is that okay to ask, Ryan?
Yeah, we can go there. I mean, I prefer wings. I do like, but I don't. I'm also handling a beer a lot, and I stand up a lot in the Super Bowl, so it's like in wing juice all over my beer glass.
Yeah.
Never a cool look,
Right.
So I like a good charcuterie board,
Oh, wow. Very elevated taste.
which I have learned is just a Lunchable, and you sub out the Capri Sun and put in a glass of wine.
Yeah, there you go.
And a little bit fancier cheese.
True that. Yeah, slightly less processed.
I'm a big fan, and I only get this during Super Bowl usually, of Little Smokies.
Dude, exactly. The one time a year I eat Smokies, and
Dude,
I eat 1,000
You
of
know
them.
who
Love
makes
those
a
things.
good batch of Little Smokies?
Oh, yeah.
Marsha.
Definitely.
Oh, maybe that might be where I learned.
She can
those.
make some killer Little Smokies.
Was it the sauce, or was it, I mean...
That's just the crock pot it comes
Everything.
in. It's just
Yeah.
the whole vibe.
She knows how to handle those little weenies. Mm-hmm. And they got some sauce on them.
Yep.
All the better.
How about you, Scott? Were you
No,
going
the Smokies
Little
was...
Smokies?
Yeah, Smokies was fine,
Sorry.
but no, that's all. It's all good. It's the one time, the 4th of July and Super Bowl Sunday are the 2 times a year that you can't gain weight because of eating. So
Yeah, exactly.
this doesn't count.
That's logic. That's science.
Roy, what's your favorite food?
You know, I'm a big fan of a good dip.
I was just gonna say.
You know?
Okay.
Spinach artichoke?
I mean,
what are you thinking?
Yeah, spinach artichoke. I like a good salmon dip.
I like
Or
good
a nice
buffalo
a nice
chicken
queso,
dip.
a good queso. You know, it's got to be like the right consistency though. You don't want to be super runny,
Can't
but
be
you don't want to
runny.
be too stretchy. You know,
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a good one because I always appreciate a good amount of spice in a drink like that or sauce like that.
Right?
Do you guys have a fan preference when you're watching the Super Bowl? Do you like to be amongst fans of either team, neither team, or like friends with the team that's winning, losing? Is the fan factor play into it at all for your viewing pleasure?
depends on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'd like it either way. I kind of like when there's no affiliation at all and everybody's just kind of hanging out and talking and drinking and having a good time. But then if there's somebody that's locked in and their team is winning, that can be pretty fun too.
Sure.
And see, I like the opposite. I think it's fun if you're watching and their team is losing because at least you're not having to go through that stress.
Yeah.
But you get to
Well,
see
I'm
somebody
glad
else like
you weren't
living,
there last year.
living and dying with every snap. It's like, dude, I'm so glad I don't have this stress. But at the same time, you're like,
I
wish I had this stress.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't
Like,
think I sat down
totally.
the whole second half of the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
I was just texting my buddy from high school that's a Niner
pacing.
fan, just like, I'm going to have a heart attack, like,
Yeah.
stressing out. I feel like I've sweat like 8 pounds already.
And it was one of Ryan's favorite days ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everybody was against me. Everyone was against people in my own family. It was a real
It
hostile
was
environment.
really easy to root for the Chiefs that year.
yeah, the only team I could root for the Chiefs over is when they play the Niners.
Yeah.
That can make me a Chiefs fan. That's the
No,
only thing.
I almost got in a little confrontation when the Seahawks played the Niners in the championship a few years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Because we were the only Niner fan at Waddell's at the time.
You were mad, bro?
No, they were getting mad because it was close. It was back and forth game.
Yeah.
And I was just surrounded by Seahawks fans.
Oh,
And
boy.
they were just being loud, so I'd get loud.
Yeah.
And the Niners had a good play. And then one guy flashed his piece, and I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
jeez.
bud.
Do you have to
Take this
unzip?
outside. No, I didn't have a piece on me,
Did you have to
but I
unzip?
had a lot of friends that did.
Different kind of piece, huh? Well, what was the Super Bowl matchup you were hoping for?
Not, but without the Seahawks in it, right? Or it
You
could
know.
be. I mean, obviously, I think I wanted the Seahawks, but if I had
Sure.
to pick a matchup, I would love to see the Bills versus the Lions. But unfortunately,
I think that's.
both whiffed.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I was looking at the points for each team, and the Chiefs are just like so far below the other, like the Ravens, the Bills, and the Lions. We almost outscored them by like 150 points
Right.
over the year. It's crazy.
You know what would have been cool would be the Ravens and the Commanders because you got
That would have been good.
the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah.
And you've got quarterbacks that play very similarly, and they're very exciting to watch.
Sure.
That would have been cool.
Yep.
I think Lions Bills is probably where I would lean, but basically anything in the matchup we got was kind of what I was hoping for. But
I was hoping for the Commanders for sure. But
Ryan,
I'm good for now. I want to overdo it, you know. Yeah, so I was having a lot of fun watching Jaden Daniels play this year.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was interesting that his stats are so similar to Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams was just trash.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels, I mean, they're not too dissimilar. It's only a couple touchdowns.
think about
That's all
I think
broadcasting
Caleb got
opinion,
so
though.
much of his in garbage time though.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like they
maybe.
were just getting beat, and he would be terrible in the first half. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, I had 4 touchdowns, and well, that's because you had to pass the entire second half.
You were down 35 to start the third
Yeah,
quarter.
I think I don't know. Caleb did not impress.
I think
me
a lot of
much.
that stuff goes with the broadcasting too, like how they portray the player,
True.
like in all the talk shows and everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because you can have 2 guys with the same exact stats, and one guy, this guy. It's just because of who he has.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like
right.
this guy is just great because he's great. It's like no.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would have loved to have seen the Commanders in there because it gives me a lot of like the Seahawks 2013 vibes.
Right.
Like the year before, they made it decently far in the playoffs.
Falcons game.
Exactly. The fun team.
Yeah.
What do we
Plus,
have?
they got Dan Quinn and Bobby Wagner.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was really hoping for Bobby Wagner. That would have been cool.
Right.
I mean, that's such a tale of like you leave, but you're still like an all-pro guy. It's just that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Roy. Well, I think we're gonna put a pin in this segment and move it on to the next one.
All right, sounds good.
Sweet.
Take a little break.
Let me make sure I got the right button. There we go.
There's a good display.
Okay, we will be back on in 7 minutes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time for everybody's segment, Happy Hour. Thank you to John for making the cocktail in today's Happy Hour segment. The special of the day, that the cocktail is the Revolver Cocktail. Did any of that, what I just said, make sense?
Have we even told, we're at Birdy's? Have we said that?
We're at Birdy's, yeah.
We're at the beautiful north side Birdy's. Only side. The only side.
You're going to need to turn it down a smidge. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, thanks. And John, can we put in an order for the 4 revolvers? Can you hear?
All right.
That's funny. Maybe people can hear, maybe not. You never know.
All right. So the Revolver is a caffeinated twist on the classic Manhattan that was created by San Francisco bartender John Santer in the early 2000s. The original Revolver was locked and loaded with the spicy bite of rye-heavy bullet bourbon, which was new on the scene then. The drink can be recreated with any good bourbon, but if you want to stick true to their original, you can go wrong with Bullet. You can't go wrong with Bullet.
You cannot.
Rather than reaching for a bottle of sweet vermouth, a la the Manhattan, Santer employs a slug of coffee liqueur to give the cocktail depth and a hint of sweetness. A couple dashes of orange bitters around the drink's edges, lending subtle brightness to the dark and mysterious duo. The 3 ingredients Revolver is simple to execute and should appeal to fans of classic whiskey cocktails and coffee-laced drinks. But the drink receives an additional flourish with its flamed orange peel garnish. This method adds warm, fiery notes of citrus oil to the cocktail.
All right.
Can't wait to try it.
Not bad. Don't be afraid to get into that microphone, Roy.
Don't be.
We'll make a little love to that thing.
Well, I know, it's a little high.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great cocktail. You know, I was thinking it's going to be 11 in the morning. Let's have a cocktail that has a little coffee flavor to it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So that was the idea there. Those are getting made up, and I cannot wait to try them. I think we're going to move on to Scott's gambling section.
You know, people have had access to the sports betting for the last couple of years, whether virtually or in person. It was always unattainable for years and years to me. I never understood the benefit. I mean, you had to go down to Las Vegas, you had to know a bookie, you had to keep it off the books, and I just, I don't know. The last couple of years have been really intriguing to me to see how many people have bet on sports. Do you guys have any sort of idea how many people bet on the Super Bowl every year? The most gambled on event?
I'd say probably 2 million.
More.
It's a lot more.
How many
10
people
million.
gamble on the Super Bowl?
In 2024, for the Super Bowl, 68 million people placed bets on the Super Bowl.
What constitutes gambling? Like, what if you're just doing squares? Does that count?
I guess we do.
Research much beyond that. But I do know.
It has to be tracked somehow, so it couldn't just be people at their house.
That's
It
true.
has to be,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
do the Vegas bet stuff.
I think
casino
that's
bet.
it's local
So
sports.
it's probably
et cetera.
even more than if you throw that in.
Yeah. So at least 68 million people placing $25 billion in bets on this game. Now,
Man,
so much.
I owe it to my wife to say, gamble within your means. Don't blow the entire month's budget on bets. But it is fun to put a little action down. Right?
Sure.
Yeah. And you can gamble on anything from. Do you think there's going to be a streaker? We'll put that at 0.5, Roy. Do you think there's going to be a streaker this year?
I think that's a high probability.
Okay, so he's taking the over.
I'll take the over on that.
Wow.
But so you get different odds and things like that. And I think people get really nervous around sports betting because you see numbers, you see plus 2,200, you see minus 190.
Sure.
You see all these different things and you don't know exactly what they mean unless you ask the questions, right? So happy to answer anything, Roy, if you have any questions on that. But I'm just I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, hey,
I
there's
did some research after the chat we had.
So the odds of a streaker happening is plus 1,000. What does that mean?
So basically, if you just take 1,000 and then you move the decimal point 2 to the left, that's what your odds are. So if it's 1,000, you move it 2, so you're at 10. So it's 10 to 1.
Oh, interesting.
It's just the way that I was always able to factor that in.
I've never known.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a gambling guy.
And there's things that are like a big time favorite to happen. Like if like something's like logically going to happen, it's like minus 500. That means you have to bet $500 to win 100.
Perfect. Or if it's even less than that. So
Really?
if it's minus 500, that means thank you very much.
Thank you.
But yeah, so
Something like that.
Yeah, you basically bet $100 to win 5.
Same thing, right? Isn't that the same thing?
Is it? Matt, I'm not writing it down. Okay, I can't carry the one. But so I want to say that. So there's some unique prop bets. So in the history of the Super Bowl, there's only been 3 times that the first score of the game has been a safety. But only one on the very first play of the game, and obviously that was the game that made us very happy.
Sure.
But these odds are for the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. What would you guys put it at? Just put an odds on it.
Plus,
I'm going to go under whatever the...
plus 1,500.
I'm saying there's a 5% chance. Move the decimal. Plus
So
5,000.
We'll just do it's 75 to 1. So that is factoring everything in. So that's pretty decent odds there. So if you put $5 down, that's a pretty good payday coming back.
And that means if it happens 75 times, one of those would be a run back, right?
That's
the dumbest way you can put it.
I don't think that's very good odds.
Yeah. Yep. First scorer of the game to be a safety, 100 to 1. A non-quarterback to throw for a touchdown is 35 to 1. A player to record an octopus. And an octopus is a relatively new term. That's where you score a touchdown and get the 2-point conversion.
Wow.
Okay.
Because you get 8 points.
Roy's got a different meaning for that, and it happens in the bedroom.
Usually in the mornings.
And then that's 14 to 1.
When the time is right.
The Super Bowl just to go to overtime. Only happened a couple times ever, but it's 8 to 1. And then the longest Super Bowl MVP odds. I don't know why I said that, because I did some additional research, and you can get really far into the weeds on how far you want to go down there. And I think the oddest part of the Super Bowl is that, whether it's Dexter Jackson on a loaded Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense.
Malcolm Smith.
Exactly. Yeah. You just have these random performances, so you might as well put money on a defender that is going to be a super long shot to get there.
Yeah.
So I just look at it from the standpoint of the 2 Cougs that are on the Chiefs. So we've got Jaden Hicks and Jalen Watson. Jalen Watson is plus 40,000 to win Super Bowl MVP. So if you think 400 to 1 is pretty decent odds, and maybe he has a pick 6, maybe he has a couple interceptions, maybe he has a couple good plays, that could be a good $5 well spent.
Right.
Jaden Hicks is 50,000 plus 50,000. But my Super Bowl MVP this year that I'm picking is Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's plus 15,000, so 150 to 1.
Wow, so it's got to be a bad offensive game and a lot of field goals.
That's the way that I'm hoping it's going to go. I'm hoping it's a really ugly game, and I hate both teams, and I want them to lose.
The hard part about it is it's all set up for the quarterback to win MVP. So even if your guy deserves it, odds are they're just going to give it to the quarterback.
Right.
It's got to be a very outstanding performance.
Yeah. Can I give you guys an idea? It's my favorite bet, and I've been tracking over-unders on the national anthem for years. So national anthem is something when the Spokane Indians, we had to make a little action in the press box, and so we'd go over/under on performances of who was doing it that game. So we had Brittany Koza, she liked the action a little bit more, so she would go a little bit longer. If we had Charlie Butts playing the saxophone, he would go a little bit under. It'd be nice and quick.
Sure.
So over the last 4 years, the over has hit on the national anthem performance. Reba McEntire last year, she was projected at 1 minute 30 seconds. She came in at 1:35. So it's pretty shocking. Chris Stapleton the year before, 159, so he was on the higher end. He came in at 201, so he just barely,
Oh my gosh.
barely came in over.
It's the
I can't
guitar
believe it
player.
varies that much.
I would always go over because these people are like, that's their moment. They're going to soak it up for all it's worth.
See, that's
I would always go over there.
That's what you would think. But Demi Lovato, good singer.
Yeah.
Don't know much about her.
Yeah.
But you would think that she would enjoy the limelight. She came in under. So that was a couple of years back. But so this year's singer, John Battisti, I don't even know if I'm saying
heard
that
of
right. He is clocking in at 2 minutes, 0.5. So 2 minutes.
It's going to be a lengthy
201.
one.
So they've
Yeah.
adjusted. They're used to
adjusted.
people betting the over.
They are.
So they're moving that number up.
They're moving that number up, but also consider this. So if you're doing research on your bets, you have to consider everything. So if you're really invested in this, Battisti is a Louisiana-born singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, band leader, composer, and television personality.
Call?
So,
Phone? These are good. Perfect.
so you think local
Should
guy?
ask my wife how good I am at reading lips. It's impossible. Yeah. He can't hear us anyways.
Yeah.
Real son of a bitch, that guy. Oh!
So local singer for the national anthem. I think he's going to go over just because he's
Sure,
in
that
front of his
deal.
hometown
Sure.
crowd.
Yeah.
And it also probably matters, how they hold those notes and the crowd gets going. They got to let it settle down and rebuild it.
Yep. From the time they start to they finish the word brave, that's the
time frame?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely like a dramatic pause. In
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the under on this one. I think they're pumping up the numbers to try to get it. They're going 50-50 for years and years and years. Now they're trying to really push it.
So we got to keep an eye on that next
I always hear life is too short to bet the unders.
week. Amen. Amen.
That's
I
like
hear
a
it.
gambling adage because it's not fun to bet unders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they hit. They do hit.
They do. It's like betting the don't pass line on the craps table at the casino. Nobody likes that person, but they
But
win.
he's
Always-
he's getting money.
Yeah.
Go 50
Yeah.
on black.
There you go. That's another strategy.
And it's 50% chance.
Good deal. You got anything else on the
No, I could go. I mean, you can bet everything from. Oh, I do have some bad beats. So I never like to bet a quarterback rushing yards because last year Brock Birdy,
yeah.
his over/under for rushing yards was 12.5. He had 13 going into the last drive of regulation, Roy,
Yeah.
and he ended up taking a knee to go to overtime.
You don't get
And so-
I was there. I was watching it.
I don't know if you remember this game, but yeah, they took a knee to go overtime, and they never got the ball back. So he came in under.
Well, yeah,
at
because they
that
decided to receive.
point. Exactly. Yeah. So,
How do you not know the rules of overtime in the Super Bowl?
and then a couple years back, Patrick Mahomes did the same thing. He was at 44 yards, and his over/under was 36.5, and he took the super deep kneel downs,
Oh my
like
gosh.
5 yards at a time, and ended up at 29 yards. So the under hit on that.
Wow.
So I hate gambling, but I love it. But I also hate it.
Those are the kind of things that make you wonder, like, if there's something foul.
What's going on? What's going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, totally. All right, well, should we move it? Well, first, let's take a little sip of our cocktail here.
I did already.
It's
and
awesome.
That's good.
Do you like
Really
it, Roy?
good.
Yeah.
You're not usually a coffee
I'm not
guy.
a coffee guy, but this is nice.
So, can you taste the flamed orange peel in there?
I can.
Yeah.
Hey, JoJo. All right, well, the cocktail's delicious. I would.
Very good,
I'm
very
going to
good.
recommend it. It's not my pantheon, but I would have it again.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with how it was made. It's just taste.
Yeah. No, I like the coffee. Actually, like the coffee in it.
Oh, nice.
I do too.
Yeah.
It works good with the whiskey
Yeah.
or bourbon, which is bullet bourbon.
Roy, you got a Guinness? Is that what?
This is a Guinness. Yeah.
Okay. That works out really well.
Yeah.
It makes his beard grow faster and fuller.
Gets into my Irish roots.
Guinness is so good.
You guys ready for a little quiz?
Yes.
Yeah. You got
Love
5
it.
minutes on the clock.
All right. Did you guys cheat?
I did.
I did not.
100%.
Yeah, Roy, you're
That's
not
a
allowed
good
to
goal.
answer.
Yeah.
I didn't even know we had the questions. We have the questions?
That's why I don't look at the outline, Ryan.
All right.
Can't see the outline.
How many of the 32 NFL teams have won the Super Bowl, including teams that have moved or relocated or changed their names? So, whoever it is, if they moved and they won one in the old city, that still counts.
I must say 25.
I'll say 26.
Nope.
Roy, why would you look up the answers? What is wrong with you? 20.
Yep.
20.
So
Really?
that's surprising. I was surprised it's
That
so
means
few.
there's 12 teams that haven't won it?
Yeah.
Well,
I had them
that's
listed,
crazy.
but We don't need to go into that.
Won the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah,
Cardinals have
I was
not.
thinking about going to the Super Bowl. My bad.
Oh, yeah. Won the Super Bowl.
Won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So you got Bills, Titans, Jaguars, Browns,
Cardinals,
and that's just 5 off the top of my head. There's 7 more.
Panthers.
No, they haven't. They just
They've
went.
been to one against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the Adam Vinatieri days.
All right. Here is another question. All games since 1971 Super Bowl V have been played between the best team of the two conferences, the AFC and the NFC. How many championships does each conference have out of the possible 54? Shut up. You have a real problem, man.
That's why I don't read the script.
NFC has 30.
God, I was leaning there too. I'm going to say NFC 29. But Brady messed everything up.
He did.
I'm
thinking about the Cowboys and
Niners, Cowboys. But then you got the Steelers
Yeah.
and the AFC. God.
Yeah.
What is that music? It is a tie, 27 apiece.
Oh, wow.
That's not what I got.
It's an upset.
Well, you might not look back far enough, Roy.
You know what, Roy? Show your notes.
29 for the NFC and 28 for the AFC.
You
went all time.
Going too deep. It wasn't. It was the.
You can never go
AFL.
too deep.
But this is the NFL
no.
with the AFC and the NFC. Okay, let's move on to the last question here. Okay, how about this actually? What are the 4 teams that have never played in a Super Bowl?
Jaguars.
1,
Cleveland Browns.
2.
Wow. Cardinals have.
Cardinals have. Yeah.
Do you guys hear that music?
Yeah.
We're getting drowned out.
And then the Lions,
Yep. Lions.
which is kind of unbelievable with
Oh,
the
wow,
runs
yeah.
they've had lately.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And the good old
Say it, Roy.
Houston Texans.
Wow, you're so smart.
I know.
Yeah.
You just really know it.
Still trapped.
Never been. Cool.
The Lions was the most surprising for me.
They've had some bad years though.
I know, but they've been on a streak the last couple of years.
Yeah. They're on the right track.
I was surprised the Browns back like in the '60s. Jim Brown never won or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that was before the Super Bowl era, right?
Oh, was it?
That was when it was still the
Must have
World
been.
Championship or whatever it was called back then.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Whose 1993 Super Bowl halftime show redefined what the halftime show would come to be? Think about it. '93.
Was that the Michael Jackson one?
Okay, I'm gonna hold for everyone's response here. Holding.
This is going to sound really bad. It might be Prince.
It is Michael.
It's Michael Jackson. You got it, Scott. Good job.
Yeah, Prince was pretty recent actually. It was like in the 2000s when he
Was he
finally
really?
did it. Yeah.
See, this is.
Yeah.
Actually might have been the 2010s actually.
Oh, wow.
It was right before he passed away, I believe.
Yeah.
A year
Man.
or two before.
Huh. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that was way older. Oh.
Well, you never know,
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It was kind of fun looking back at those. It used to just be marching bands.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny to even think of?
I bet they came from the SWAC conference.
Totally. That's a
Have
good
you
one.
ever watched a SWAC conference college game?
That's a good pull.
It's
Friday
all
nights?
about the drum line
Yeah.
at halftime. They don't even care about the guys playing the game.
Yeah.
Is that the Southwest Athletic?
Yeah. Florida A&M. Yeah.
We just happened to watch one night.
Yeah.
Like, while we were
Well, it's on
incredibly
like
dinner.
every Friday.
Yeah.
Grambling?
And like they weren't even. They're like, oh yeah, they got one of the best drum lines in the nation. Like they weren't even talking about the game. It was a close game too. Like we're
Yeah,
not here for the football
nothing.
game. We're watching these two drum lines complete halftime.
Hey, there's your boy, Manning.
Oh
Look at that
boy,
thing.
look at the neck on that guy. Giraffe neck. All right, well, we are going to put a pin in it and move it on to the next segment.
All right, sounds good.
So the Pro Bowl's going on right now?
Alrighty, welcome back to the show,
Your
everybody.
dad's trying to say something.
Oh. What's that, Dad?
I don't know.
I can't hear me. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's the segment of the week. We're doing a Super Bowl preview. Everything you did and did not need to know about the Super Bowl. So let's jump right into it here. Whose road to the Super Bowl set them up best for a Super Bowl win? Roy's giving me the eyes. What do you got, Roy? I don't want to ask Jeff first because he'll answer every question for the rest of the show.
I didn't dive super deep into this, but I'm thinking the Chiefs.
Yeah?
They seem like they had a pretty soft schedule, even in the playoff run.
Uh-huh.
And then, the underlying issues that circles their team.
Okay. Good answers, good answers.
With their 12th man, which is a 3-man team.
The Zebras. Scotty Lulu, what do you think?
I think winning close games is the most important thing because when you get into crunch time, you can make the plays to do that. And they've won 17 straight one-score games. They were in a division that featured 3 playoff teams. Their leading rusher had less than 800 yards, and Travis Kelce was their leading receiver at 823 yards. So they did not rely on one specific person the entire time. And I think that the Chiefs are positioned to make the plays down the stretch to win. And I just absolutely hate picking the Chiefs, but I really do not like the scumbag city of Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
They are the worst. Yeah, they really are.
Jeff, what do you think?
I think it's the Chiefs too. Like Scott said, 3 playoff teams in your division, while the Eagles get beat up on the terrible Cowboys and the terrible Giants.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just easy.
Sure.
And it doesn't prepare you. It's like Gonzaga just mowing through their non-conference or their conference schedule. It doesn't prepare you for March Madness.
That's right. Not this year.
Yeah.
Right. Not this year yet. Sore subject.
It might be too soon.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Chiefs is they lost to the Bills in the regular season. And for the Bills to ever overtake the Chiefs, they're going to need to have that game in Buffalo.
Right.
So somewhere along the line, Buffalo messed up. Even though they had the head-to-head over Kansas City, Buffalo messed up and didn't take care of business to get the home field advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
they had a couple games that were just absolutely ungodly dumb. So, I agree. They need the home field.
yeah. It's got to be Kansas City.
What about you, Ryan?
I think I would have said Kansas City up until, and this isn't really fair. It's not really the road to the Super Bowl. But the last couple of weeks of the Eagles with Saquon just destroying people. He looks like he is a half second faster than everybody, stronger than everybody, and better. It's just like he's playing a different game.
Right.
I don't know if that. I'm probably not really answering the question here, but I think it probably works against them, actually, because if he doesn't get going right away, they might be like, what the crap are we going to do now?
Right.
But they got to be preparing for him.
Sure.
If you were to design an NFL running back in a lab, it would look like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. If not,
that
it'd be
too.
pretty damn close.
But you know what? It's like a little bit revisionist history because if everybody had a first-round number 1 overall pick this year, it was not him. If you had the 5th pick, you still wouldn't have picked Saquon Barkley because he was so kind of mediocre with
in
the Giants.
fantasy football.
In fantasy football. And so right now he looks insane.
It's wild.
I don't know. I kind of want to see what he does in the Super Bowl, and maybe that's one of those ungodly performances that kind of elevates him. He should have been the MVP this year.
I think so too. Who did it end up being?
I don't think they've announced it yet, but I
They
think
announced
it's
it after the Super Bowl,
They'll
I
do it
believe.
at the NFL honors show.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's like right before the draft weekend.
It'll be Lamar though.
Lamar or Josh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Josh Allen.
That's just not fair. You shouldn't have to have the most insane season inhumanly possible to win it as another player.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's probably wraps up that little section there. We're gonna do the players thing. So give me a player. We're gonna do a player to root for, a player to watch for, and a player that you don't want to win the Super Bowl.
Nice.
So how do you guys want to do it? You want to do each person does all 3, or all do the feel goods?
let's do the feel
Do
goods.
feel good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mind if I start with the feel good?
I think you should.
Of course, right?
I'm going to go with the Eagles tight end Dallas.
Let's start with
Goddard.
Oh, okay.
He had a knee injury this year, sidelined him for about 4 weeks. And then against the Commanders, he had the leading reception yards.
Nice.
7 catches for 85 yards. He had a good game, so I think he'd be a good one to watch out for.
Okay.
It's like a little
what
Cinderella
category we're doing
story.
here?
What's that?
We're doing the guy to root for. Is that
The feel good one,
Feel
right?
good, okay.
Right, Roy? Is that what you're on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shockingly enough, I went with the local approach, wearing a Cougs sweatshirt. I went with both Jalen Watson and Jaden Hicks. So 3rd and 5th round picks respectively, and they're doing the Cougs proud.
Good deal. That's a good one.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I will go with Eagles rookie defensive back Cooper DeJean.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys remember, Barstool did a whole all whites versus all blacks team.
No.
And the all whites were severely hurting when it came to defensive backs. And Mr. Cooper from Iowa is a great defensive player, and he helps the all whites so much.
If you walked in right now, it'd be a really long conversation.
So
funny.
he's a big addition to that team, and he's also a huge addition to the Eagles in their secondary. Just an athletic freak. You watch his highlights in high school of him dunking over everybody. It's just cool to see a guy like that out there playing at the highest level. So I'm rooting for that guy.
Hey, Ryan, put it in there.
Did not see that
Go ahead and
coming.
clip that. Go ahead and clip that.
Dude, Barstool did it. We can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
We're
hilarious.
repurposing. It's fine.
I've never seen that. That's really
It's
It's
hilarious.
not even like I mean,
It probably got taken down.
no. It was a big deal.
Will Compton did it, and
Yeah, it was a big deal.
He's got it pinned on his tweets. So
It's a huge deal every year. Now,
Yeah.
whenever a white guy gets drafted into the NFL, they're like, that guy's coming on our team. We got him.
Probably screwed after Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
Well, that's a big running back to have on that
I mean,
team.
was it, sir?
It was a really great fantasy draft pick this year, too.
Well,
Anyone
maybe
else?
not.
Yeah.
Not this year, but
All right. Oh, so for me, a feel-good one, I got to go. Well, Saquon, I feel pretty good for that guy. I mean, he was just trashed in New York. Did you already say that? Oh, sorry.
it's Saquon.
What did I say?
Saquon.
Saquon. Okay, Saquon. Yeah. But my real pick is DeAndre Hopkins. That would just be cool for him to win. I forgot he was on the roster. I was kind of looking through him.
They've kind of not used him recently.
Right.
It's crazy.
So that is mine. He spent years in Texas or Houston
Tennessee, Houston.
for the Texans, and So and he's always kept his clean career. Good player.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to production-wise. So a player, what I was kind of looking for is like that. There's always that. What made me think of this one was Chris Matthews,
Yeah.
the Seahawks practice squad guy that shows up and gets 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was just like, who? What?
Exactly.
So,
I was at that game.
Oh,
It
really?
was going off, yes.
oh, that's cool.
Ryan, who do you got?
So I went with more obscure ones. The backup tight end, Grant Calcaterra.
Wow, that's obscure.
So,
I love it.
And he's got, I think, 1 or 2 touchdowns on the year, and they're all on. He plays for the Eagles, and I'm thinking they put him in when he's an obvious blocker, and they're going to throw it to him, and then he's going to rack up yards. My other guy was Xavier Worthy.
Dang, that's what I was going to go.
Oh, sorry.
I know why'd you pick 2.
I shouldn't have done. I did 1 for each team. I don't know, but what was your rationale on that?
Well, supremely talented, huge program at Texas, fastest dude in the combine. Started off slow in the pros, but now they're using him more and more every week, and he's a threat to take it to the house at any time that he touches the ball. And those are the kind of guys you want to put money on.
That's true.
Because those kind of plays win awards.
Yep.
I totally agree. My reason was the jet sweep.
Yeah.
3 rushing touchdowns on the year for that guy. And if they get that one early, and you have to worry about that as you're the Eagles, I think it just is going to really open it
I
up
think
for
he's
them.
the fastest player in the NFL.
He might be.
I mean, he ran the fastest combine time at
Yeah.
4.19 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, he broke the record at the combine for being the fastest player.
Squeeze lightning. How about you? So, Jeff, we have the same.
I was going to go Worthy,
You have
but
another
I mean,
one?
I would go kind of a off-the-radar guy for the Eagles. If somebody's going to step up, I would say Kenneth Gainwell, their backup running back. I could almost see a situation where Saquon gets neutralized because they're focused so much on him. And Gainwell comes in, and he's a big threat in the pass game. He can run it. He's been in the system for years, so they're comfortable with him. I just can see him having a big role.
Yeah,
So
that's a good pick.
I like it. I like it.
That's a good pick. How about you, Scott? What do you got?
I think it's going to be a defensive battle, and I'm going Harrison Butker.
really?
Yeah.
Butker,
It's,
you love Butker.
He's
Butker, I hardly know her.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My wife gets so mad at me saying that, so she needs me out of the house more.
My wife's fantasy football kicker was the guy in
Justin Tucker?
Dicker.
yeah.
Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the
So all I heard all year was, is Dicker the kicker back out there?
Did you guys hear about Justin Tucker?
No.
Yeah, it might be too soon.
Same place as old Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
He denies it, though, of course.
Well, yeah. Allegedly.
Think it's true?
Yes.
Why would it come out if it wasn't?
I do think it's true.
Did
It
you
also
hear
could
about it, Roy?
No.
Inappropriate touching during massages, potentially. And you kind of got to think this might have had some steam behind the scenes because he was terrible this year versus what his normal standard is.
Totally.
So he might have been thinking about it too much.
That's true. He knew it was coming out.
I mean, are we getting full on into current events because the Luka Doncic trade last night? was pretty
Oh my gosh. That was on during the.
It's like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Here's the thing.
Sorry, Roy.
I hate the NBA, but it actually made me pay attention to the NBA.
Yeah.
For 2
I-
seconds.
Here. 2 players I actually knew.
Yeah.
Traded.
I don't watch any NBA.
And plus, Luca's like one of our all whites.
That's true. That's true.
And we get to claim him. But you know what? Here's the thing. It made me. I was reclining in my recliner, and news from the NBA very rarely gets me to move. But I sat up. Mm-hmm. I did sit up on that.
Yeah.
I get it, though, because the Mavs don't want to pay that max contract.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy's increasingly hurt. He's
Andy
not in the
just
best
complains
shape.
about the officials,
He's not in the
yeah.
best shape all the time. He probably won't age that gracefully. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it to an extent, but I think if they would have opened it up to a bidding war, they'd probably get more. But
Sorry,
Yeah.
we're on a super big tangent right now, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah. No, that was good.
Harrison Butker, Roy, who do you got?
NBA sucks.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. I don't think I did this question right.
That's all right.
I
It
went
doesn't
with,
have to be obscure.
Shaquan Barkley. Shaquan.
Shaquan?
Saquon.
Shaquan.
Saquon
I
Barkley.
mean, he's just been unstoppable.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
So what do you think?
He might go-
the Eagles win if Saquon only gets?
If he can get his running game going, I think they have a solid chance of beating the Chiefs.
What does going mean? Like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards,
It's got to
1
be
touchdown?
more than 2 touchdowns, I think.
I think it's anything over 80.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say.
the Chiefs' defense is pretty tough. So if
Yeah.
he can get in the end zone and get over 80, I don't know.
Also,
That might be it.
He's probably like the best free agent signing of all time.
Very well. It's definitely up there. That's
And,
for sure.
like, it's
You know
fall-
what's funny is the Giants, they get rid of Saquon. They chose to pay Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley.
It's a double whammy.
And I was watching Hard Knocks this year, and it goes behind the scenes, and it shows the Giants GM, and they went through the whole thought process of it, and they're like,
Yeah.
we can't pay a running back that much. And then the owner is in the room. The owner's like,
Yep.
and the owner knows Saquon sells jerseys. He's a fan favorite, and he's like, man, if he goes to the Eagles, I'm gonna be. And he goes to the Eagles.
It'd really
and
suck if he went somewhere.
John
individual.
Mara, I don't think he's lived it down yet.
Yeah.
He's not, and I think that GM is getting fired or got fired.
So, yeah, I don't know yet.
So,
How could you not fire him? I mean, in division.
in
I
division.
mean, the only other trade like that was, I'd say, Christian McCaffrey when he showed up for 49ers in terms of impact.
Yeah.
Didn't work very
He
good this year
just-
for us.
Saquon's
when he
a
showed
Philly
up.
guy though too. He's from Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I think
so
the
that
one
all
we-
makes
We
sense.
went to the Super Bowl last year because McCaffrey.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. Keep it rolling here.
You got 5.
All right. Hate to be negative, but a player you don't want to win a Super Bowl. Roy, why don't you go for it?
Mahomes.
Why? What's your big problem?
I just don't like him.
3 times? You don't.
I don't like that he's like, not flopping, but like he's drawing
pretty
the
rough.
penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't run and then the last second when they're trying to tackle you, go for a slide.
Right.
It's
Like,
not
that's-
as Kermit the Frost.
I think it's bad for the sport. I don't care about his voice at all. That doesn't bother me. But just the fact that he's, it's a loophole that he's found, and good for him for having the IQ. But like, it's just, I feel like it's just bad.
Sure.
It's not good sportsmanship to
Best
draw
part
the
is, though,
penalty
he
like
could
that.
probably play for the All Blacks and All Whites. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out of my head. You the All Blacks and All Whites.
That might be a new show. We might have to come up with
A
roster.
redraft. Yeah,
A
redraft of it. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Scott, what
Okay,
about you?
I took this in a different direction. These are not active players. I do not want the city of Philadelphia or Jackson
Yes.
Mahomes. So I want them both to lose.
Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah. Nice. Keep him off my
Actually,
TikTok.
do any of you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia? There was a thing on Facebook. It's like, oh, they should do an episode where they try to kidnap Mahomes, but they end up kidnapping his brother, like by accident, to try to have the Eagles win.
That'd be good.
Can you explain your reason for the city of Philadelphia in a short 30-second
Yeah, they
version?
threw batteries at Santa Claus back in the day. They are the worst. They complain about everything. They are entitled, and they very rarely win. So I don't know. Just not fans.
Okay, good point.
Yep.
Jeff?
I echo those sentiments about the city of Philadelphia and their fans, but I will take it another way. I hate the Eagles coach. He's got the most punchable face in the world. Nick Sirianni. I do not want to see him win the Super Bowl. I do not like that guy. I don't like the Chiefs either. I just hope there's good commercials.
Nick Sirianni has a constantly confused face, and it just looks like he failed upwards somehow. I don't know.
We're gonna
not a fan.
Let's give it to Saquon again. Saquon. Why am I saying it like that? All right, those are really good. I went pretty literal on this one, kind of. I'm going Kareem Hunt.
Oh yeah, bad guy.
I rewatched the videos on that, and it's not like he had a domestic violence situation in a hotel. A girl called him racial slur.
He should have been a kicker.
And then he attacked, and it's like in a hallway situation. And I was like, well, it's really not that bad. And then I started thinking, I was like, I've never even been close to pushing or hitting or anything like that.
Right.
So it's just wrong. You don't need to. It's pretty black and white in that.
Kareem Hunt is in the same category as O.J. Simpson. Better football player than a guy. So,
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't know. Kareem. I feel like I feel like he's rehabbed his image quite a bit. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
It's hard to live that down, obviously, but I don't know.
I got a video.
My dad says who knows what he's doing behind the scenes. He might be doing a whole bunch of like domestic violence.
Sure,
that's true.
Stuff. I bet he has.
That's the tough one. You root for a redemption thing, but it's like, okay, you can play in the NFL. That's your redemption. You don't get to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
All right, my other one is Jalen Carter. I don't want him to win a Super Bowl before Devin Witherspoon because we're stuck with Devin Witherspoon. And we should have had Jalen Carter. Could you imagine if we had that beast in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
I don't know. You're really mad about having Devin Witherspoon?
I think they're both awesome, but where the Seahawks are, would you want a corner or a Chris Jones?
Okay, here's the thing.
We could have had him too.
If Byron Murphy turns out how he's supposed to, then we're in a good spot.
Right.
We got the corner and the defensive tackle.
I know it's
we got to
true.
give him time.
It's true. It's true.
Now we could have had the dude Jalen Carter, and we could have had Jared Verse from the Rams too. True. But we took Byron Murphy. So, I mean, the draft is just such a crapshoot.
It is. You never know.
It's a lot of woulda, shoulda, coulda.
But Jalen Carter seems like he's just an animal.
He was the whole time though too. Like everybody knew he was the best player in the draft. Like it's just the person, the character concerns.
He came out with some stuff. Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up this segment. We're gonna come back for a quick wrap up, and then we're gonna be getting out of here.
Sweet. Happy.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We really appreciate everybody putting up with us, letting us do this.
Yep.
Sounds like there's mixed results on who can hear and who can't, but
Marty actually just told me during the break that he thought about coming up and messing with us, but he thought better of it because he's wanted to see the finished product first.
Okay.
So, just saying.
Well, there will be a finished product. We were going to put out this episode in a couple of days, and you'll be able to listen to it, and it'll be great.
Just as long as it comes out before the Super Bowl so people have their betting opportunities taken care of.
Definitely. Speaking of betting,
I have a couple fun ones.
Oh, you got some prop bets, Roy?
Yeah, that I looked up.
Let's do it.
From CBSSports.com.
See you, buddy.
See it.
One of them was how many beers are sold at the game? 120,000 over or under?
At the game?
At the actual game at the stadium.
Do you want me to work through it?
So here's the math behind it. It seats 120,000.
Oh, what? Where's it at?
Or
Superdome?
No.
or maybe they're assuming that's how many adults are going to be there.
Okay.
And not everyone drinks, but the people that do drink are probably going to have multiple drinks.
It's over.
So it's over under 120,000.
I'm going over.
I say over too.
Over, yeah.
I was saying over, and I thought there was only like 60,000.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, 120,000.
Shout out to the alcoholics out there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm also thinking over.
Oh, okay. So we don't have an answer here.
Well,
Do
no,
you have a
'cause it hasn't
historical
happened yet.
answer?
No.
Okay, that's all right.
That's per stadium.
Okay, what else you got, Roy?
If the Chiefs win, will Andy Reid be doused in barbecue sauce? And that's just I don't
probably like
I
it.
hope
That's
not.
the CBS Sports, okay? I didn't make these up.
My mom would lose her mind.
Yeah. And then the last one, will any player or coach cry during the national anthem?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to find that guy. Yeah.
Kareem Hunt will.
So happy to be here.
And those were some fun, because I didn't know we were going to let him do
Sure.
the whole thing, so I did a little research for some funny ones.
I love it.
You know what nobody talks about is Andy Reid coached the Eagles for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
But he was like not that great at his, I think it was the Jets before, right?
he was on the Eagles. I think.
Eagles.
Just
yeah.
Eagles, yeah.
Oh, he was with the Packers as a
Packers.
Yeah,
He's
not a great career there, and then all of a sudden he comes to the Chiefs and he's just skyrocketed.
I can't believe he's still coaching right now.
Speaking of the Chiefs,
Shouldn't he be walking a zebra behind you? I can't believe he's still coaching. You know, isn't he in the same tree as Mike Holmgren?
Yes.
I mean, that's just so long ago, Mike Holmgren.
All right, here's I have an
Pete
over.
Carroll's coming back to the Raiders
That's
next
true.
year.
So
He
I
was
have,
already the oldest coach when he retired.
I have an over under. How many times are they going to show the video of doing the punt pass kick or punt pass whatever when he was a little kid? He was bigger than everybody else. Have you guys seen that video?
No.
He's always been a big guy.
He's always been a big guy, and there's a video out there, and I think I have a feeling they're going to show it tomorrow.
Oh, like in the opening or halftime.
So at some point in time, just talking about his history and stuff. But he's the biggest kid out there, and he won, and it's hilarious.
Just bulldozing people.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That was just my little. I mean, I did the research Ryan for the first time in a long time, so I felt like I needed to get it out there.
Sure. I got a couple here. All right. Will Taylor Swift join Kendrick Lamar on stage during halftime?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm going to say no.
Just because she's going to be up. She's got her whole thing going on up in the box she's up in all the time.
Yeah.
I bet you that it'll be Ryan Reynolds' wife will be up there, though.
I don't know that I've ever been less excited for a halftime show.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Same here.
gonna be
I bet
tough.
it'll be awesome, though.
Like seriously, going to a rap concert has got to be the worst thing I could ever imagine doing.
We were watching the fire raid for the LA
it just
fires.
doesn't sound as good.
We went to I watched the fire raid special they had for the LA fires, and they had a couple mumble rappers on. I'm just like, fast forward.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what they're saying.
Probably sounds a lot like us up here. Right?
Yeah, I was just going to say,
A bunch of people mumbling in the mic.
people here are like, wow, you guys are really, the apple falls far from the tree, huh?
Cool show.
All right, coin toss. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails? Okay.
I'm a heads guy.
Heads? I didn't write down what it is historically, but it's very 50-50. It's like one off.
I had more stuff on my prop bets, but my secretary didn't quite get it translated very well onto the computer.
All right, last one that I had was the color of Gatorade, if it's not barbecue sauce, over the winning coach. Purple, yellow, green, lime, yellow, lime / green, orange, blue, or red or pink.
I'm going orange.
See, I'm going to take this a different direction. I think it's going to be white.
Oh, see, I do. So clear?
Frost.
Clear.
Would you accept
frost.
clear?
Yeah, I'll accept clear. Yeah.
That's a good one. I associate orange with college, so I'm throwing that out. Red makes me think when I was like recovering from the flu.
It won't be red because if they drink too much of that, then their lips get all weird, and then for the after show, they're going to look weird.
The red uniforms, if it's Chiefs.
But it could be yellow, which would go nice with the red uniforms.
Maybe I'm hoping for barbecue sauce at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, I wanted to thank Birdy's for letting us come out and do this, and they're under new ownership. So,
Yes.
I don't know what this place was like before, but there's been a full house in here.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Food has come out fast.
I got a cheesesteak on the way.
Oh,
So do I.
nice.
I'm excited.
What'd you get?
Nice.
I just got the original.
Oh, I did the Dirty Bird.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You
I will
jerk.
say I've grazed on some tots.
Yeah, me too.
They're
Fried,
close with McMinimans.
Marsha gave me some tots, and
Yeah.
fried pickles are excellent as well.
yes.
She's looking at us.
Thanks for the tots, Marsha.
Mom, we're talking about how you had dreams of Andy Reid dipped in barbecue sauce.
That's not weird. That is not weird.
I can't wait till she watches this. So, guys, do you feel like you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's for this episode?
100%.
Anything left unsaid?
I hope both teams lose. That's
I'm
all we're
going to
saying.
give a parting shot for anybody that is placing some wagers. I'm going to say take the over on whatever the line is for Xavier Worthy's receiving yards. He's going to go way over.
Okay, along those lines.
Get rich on that.
How are you feeling about Hollywood Brown? Don't you think he could be in the same boat?
He's healthy now. I do. The Chiefs are so weird. They spread the ball all around.
Yeah.
But they design a lot of plays for Xavier Worthy just
Okay.
because of that
Okay.
speed. I think
Here's- here's the thing. I have a parlay with him. Well, no, not with him in it. Well, I do anyway.
Yeah.
So I have a long shot touchdown. So Noah Gray, backup tight end for the Chiefs, Dallas Goedert, and Hollywood Brown, plus 9,000 to all have receiving touchdowns. So basically, $20 will win you $1,800.
Oh, that's
So I might put that on.
I don't bet, or I would. I'm not against it. I just don't. Is there anything more exciting than being on the third leg of a parlay when you've hit the first two?
And having it hit?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I can
there's
just
nothing
see
with it.
that.
It's the most exhilarating thing you can do other than playing an actual sport.
nice.
Now, have you ever seen Silver Linings Playbook?
Yes.
That's
Great movie.
I do not remember that part, but I have seen it. Yeah.
That's the whole end of the show. They have to score so much the dance contest. I don't even remember the other two.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember the premise actually. But I don't know. That's such a good movie.
It is a good one.
It's to save their house or something. I can't even remember. But have you seen that movie, Scott?
No.
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence,
Well, I better go
Bradley
watch
Cooper,
I
De
love
Niro.
Jennifer Lawrence.
That's really good.
No,
and
Nero's
Eagles
not.
fan actually. That's more apt than I even thought.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
They go to an Eagles game. He's got anger management. They get in a fight in the parking lot. It's pretty with his anger counselor guy, probation guy. It's really funny. All right.
Great movie.
So we are thinking we have wrapped up the show here. I just had a couple things I want to say. It's nice to be at a bar that has an actual liquor license. You know? A little step up from Linda's.
The possibilities are endless here.
There's no skill saws at our feet.
Nope.
It's a nice change of
We don't
pace.
need to have space heaters or a fireplace.
I also wanted to shout out Peyton Manning one more time for having the biggest forehead in Super Bowl history. Do you think he gets a special helmet?
Oh, 100%.
He must.
Custom made.
He'd wear the Guardian cap now for sure.
Oh,
Could you imagine if he had a neck roll? It would have to be the thickest neck roll on the planet. It's probably the size of a body-sized pillow.
8 inches thick.
All right, and I think on that note, we will wrap up the show.
Yeah. Thanks again, Birdies, for hosting.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Birdies. Great spot here.
I'm thirsty for more and I'm hunting and I'm looking and I'm searching everywhere for you. 'Cause I want one, need one, give me one more.